Okay, so I'm standing here with Thomas Feltus, CFO of Saniona. Thomas, you are approaching the completion of the phase 3 study on obese patients with your partner Medics in Mexico. Can you tell us about your hopes of this study and what are the endpoints of the study?
Yes, so it's an obesity study, and it means that the primary endpoint is weight loss compared to baseline. And then there are secondary endpoints for glycemic parameters and diabetes related, and also quality of life parameters and this kind of thing. So tesofensine has been through a significant phase 2 study, and where we saw very robust weight loss, and the product was well tolerated. It actually had the double weight loss than existing products, and this is a similar design, and we have great hope that we also believe that there are good chance that it will be successful. Yeah.
And if you reach these goals, how fast can you reach the market, and how big is the market?
So Medics expect to start if successful, then Medics expect that this will enable them to file a new drug application in Mexico next year, which means that we can get on the market already by 2020 for launch. And the market today is about $250 million. They have about half of this market today, and they may replace their existing sales, but they may also actually get market share from other companies and even grow the market with this compound, because it's highly effective and very well tolerated.
Your partnership with, or your deal with Medics, could you explain how the structure of the deal is, and what opportunities do you see for the drug, the candidate drug on the world market?
So the collaboration, we established this collaboration back in 2016, and with the aim of developing tesofensine and also our fixed dose combination tesomet for obesity in Mexico and Argentina. And the deal started this way, that they finance the phase 2 and phase 3 studies, and then they have the commercial rights in these two countries. We have then retained commercial rights in the rest of the world, including the exclusive rights to use their data in the rest of the world. So this has been a way for us to make late-stage clinical trials financed by them. And then when they introduce the products to the market, then we get double-digit royalties on their sales in Mexico and Argentina. So this is how the deal is structured.
Okay. If we compare your candidate with the other drug candidates available on the market today on obesity, what are the differences, and what's your edge?
Yeah. So Mexico is what we call a cash market, so people paying for the treatment themselves. There's no reimbursement. And the market is today dominated by oral generics, amphetamine-like products with significant side effects and very often poor efficacy. And then there are some of the branded products in the US is also introduced to the market, but they are also not very effective and also come with side effects. So it is a market coming in where we have a product which is much better tolerated and which has the double efficacy compared to existing products. So we have great hope for this product in this market.
You have a lot of other projects in your pipeline, such as the Prader-Willi syndrome, and where you have seen promising effects with your drug candidate. Could you walk us through the potential here and how the market?
Yeah. So we have run, as you said, a phase 2A study in adult Prader-Willi patients last year, and we know the product's working. It's reducing hyperphagia dramatic, actually go from a baseline of 10 to 0 during the 12 weeks of treatment in the treatment group, and we also see a weight loss, whereas there's not what's happening in those who got placebo. So we know the product's working, and we continue this clinical trial. We see Prader-Willi is only 20,000 patients in US and Europe combined, so it's clearly an orphan indication. And in this area, you can get relatively high prices. And analysts following this market believe that you can get more than $100,000 per patient per year in this indication if you have a product which works. And this is what we think we have. So we see a significant billion-dollar market potential for this product in this indication. And more interesting perhaps is that we can get it relatively fast. We think we can get the product on market in 2022. And we can sell the products ourselves. And the total cost for delivering to this is just about $22 million or so, an external cost.
One of your...
So it's a lot of value in a very short time, but a very limited investment, as we see it. That makes it very interesting.
Yeah. One of your strengths in Saniona is your strategic partnerships and research collaborations. Can you elaborate a bit about that and the synergies, financing synergies from your partnerships?
So yes, so we have made several types of deals at various stages, and one was the Medics deal before, which is a way for us to finance late-stage clinical trial and retain significant commercial right in the rest of the world outside these two countries Medics have. But it also has a spillover into Tesomet program indirectly in the way that they are financing all the CMC as manufacturing validation batches right now for Tesofansin, which is a component in our Tesomet product. And this means these costs have been covered. We are using saving investment about 50-60 million Swedish crowns in this program, Tesomet program, because of this collaboration and because they are financing it right now. So there you can see some synergy between two different programs. And then there's the more obvious. We got just a milestone from Boehringer Ingelheim of 4 million euros, so 42 million Swedish crowns in July, which essentially means that we break even for the first 7 or 8 months of this year. And this is a direct cash influx to the company. And since we started, we have made money every year and just spent, I think, 80 million crowns or $9 million since we started in 2012. And during this period, we have financed 2 phase 2 programs, 2 studies, 2 phase 1 studies, 2 preclinical programs, and 3 research programs. So money from income from our collaboration is actually financing a significant part of our own activities. And this, you could say, exchange of financing is of course a synergy direct.
Do you intend to further develop these partnerships and collaborations? And what are your next steps?
Yeah, so the Boehringer Ingelheim agreement, of course, is an agreement so that will continue. And the most important part of the cash flow from this agreement is yet to come. So it's a 90 million euro milestones. And royalties and product sales. And we just got 9 million total so far. So there's a lot of milestones ahead of us. We plan to go into new deal collaborations. Having said that, I do think that when we pursue Prader-Willi and hypothalamic obesity ourselves to bring it to the market, then we will see cash burn increase in the company. And we will see more biotech-like financing of the company. But still, we will make collaborations and we'll get important income from partnerships also going forward.
The current financial situation in Saniona, can you tell us about that? How?
Yes, so we just got we break even so far this year, and then we have a finance agreement with Nice and Green, which essentially can finance the company at least until into 2019, at which product time we will have one product, the first product, ready for going into commercialization. So this is the current situation, I would say. So we are relatively well financed right now.
If we look forward, what milestones do you hope to achieve in the near future and even further down the road in 2019 and maybe even later?
I think that the most important milestones is probably 3 or 4 months ahead. So that we have the readout from the phase 3 study. This phase 3 study has completed in the way the last patient have the last day of treatment, and we are now waiting for a 3 months follow-up period at the end of October, and then Medics can close the database and we can then, when they have the conclusion, then we can publish to the market. We have said it's happening early next year. It could happen also in December. We're not sitting on this data, of course. So that is going to be a very important result, because this would be, you could say, potential trigger for new drug application in Mexico and royalty income in the short term. The second is our activity in Prader-Willi syndrome. We are continuing our ongoing phase 2A study in adolescents now, in a lower dose. We learned from this initial study in adults that up to high dose, so we reduce the dose and continue in adolescents. We get the results of this in first quarter next year, and this will outline the phase 3 program, phase 2 program, the rest of the story in this field, and that will be, I think, very important for us and for shareholders.
We thank Thomas Feltes from Saniona. Thank you.
Thank you.